Hey everyone, welcome to a new video, welcome to my channel. My name is Mike and today we are doing a quick get ready with me because I want to film another video after this. So I thought I could sit down first and do my makeup while chatting to you about two things, namely my new job. I think I can say a little bit more about it now. And I also wanted to address lighting issues because some people have been leaving me comments saying things like, I don't like the lighting in your videos. So I just wanted to quickly address that. I will be mainly using products from my November. We're already in November. Where is my brain? In my November shop, my stash. And I have a new eyeshadow palette to try. And I thought that this could constitute a nice like one look in a palette kind of thing. So I'm gonna try this for the first time on my eyes today. I got this a few weeks ago and I haven't yet put it on my face. So I thought I could do that for you too. So I'm going to be listing all of the products down below that I'm using. And then we're just going to get chatting about the makeup and give you some thoughts on the things that I was using, etc., etc. But also address those other two topics. So I'm gonna start off by applying some lip balm first. And this is the Sugar Rosé by Fresh, and it's a little mini that I got in a Sephora lip kit. And this is a nice enough lip balm. It's so soft, and since it's a mini, it's now gotten past the point, but it had snapped in two. So it was a little difficult to use. But I always apply lip balm at the start of my routine so it can sink in before I apply lipstick, which is usually the last thing I do. So starting off with primer, I have been using the Pretty Fresh Hydrating Hyaluronic Primer by Colourpop. And I think I've been using it for like this month mainly. I think I started using it already at the end of October, so maybe 4 weeks or so. And as you can see, it's around halfway gone. So this is the kind of product that I think before the end of the year, I will be able to use this up, which would be cool because I'm trying to use up, or at least see how much I can use up in a year. So I have been keeping all of the beauty products, including makeup, but also hair care and skincare and all that stuff. Been keeping that so I can film a video for you and show you everything that I've used up in the past year. That's the idea. But yeah, let's discuss my new job because I know some people wanted to know because I sort of touched upon it in my previous Get Ready With Me, but at the time I wasn't there yet and I wasn't entirely sure what I could and couldn't share because I am still teaching, in case you're wondering. I'm still an English teacher. I still, like, the job itself hasn't really changed. I just changed employers. And I'm going to be applying eyeshadow primer first. This is the Lorac Behind the Scenes. This is almost gone. It's getting harder and harder every time to get some product out. But yeah, I really, not much has changed when it comes to the work situation apart from the place where I do the job, but I'm still teaching English. I'm still teaching in like higher education. It's just that right now I have started teaching English, well, officially for the Dutch Ministry of Defense. So I am employed to teach English to Army cadets. That's pretty much what it boils down to. Very different target group from where I used to be at, which was like management in leisure and events. And theme parks was the program I was part of the most. So I've been there for 3 weeks now. Everything's super new, super different, completely different organization. It's a thing. So yeah, so far I'm really enjoying it, but most of the classes are not going to start until after Christmas break, so I have a little bit of time to sort of get used to things and do all that. So in case you were wondering, after I told you last time that I had switched jobs, that's what's going on. So yeah, I'm now it's just a different employer and that's about it. But yeah, the job itself, it's still just teaching English. Foundation is going to be the Anastasia Luminous foundation. I have this in the shade 130N and I really like this foundation. In December, I want to do a video where I compare this to the Zoeva Authentik Skin because I've heard so many people saying that they are similar. And this is like twice as expensive as the Zoeva. So I still want to put them side by side. But so far, I've just been trying this on its own. And I like it, but the pump on this is really strange. It's very, very tough to press it down. So, and this is like a 50 euro foundation. So for that kind of money, I'm like, the packaging could have perhaps been a bit sturdier, because the pump is just not the best, but the product itself is lovely. I haven't made up my mind yet whether I like this more or as much as the Zoeva, or less. I don't know yet. I haven't really, for that I think I really have to compare them. Like do a full side-by-side wear test to really be able to tell the difference. But yeah, so far this foundation by itself has been absolutely lovely. It blends in seamlessly. I only need like one pump to get the coverage that I want. It's very hydrating. It doesn't transfer like crazy. So it's been a really lovely experience using this. Look at how nice that looks. And look at that. It's just so easy to just throw on, and it stays put really nicely too. I'm going to go in with the Zoeva Authentic Skin Concealer as well, because I was just really liking what this did for me. And I have found a little trick to make this work even better. And that is to take whatever's on the wand and sort of like dot it around your face first, like this. And then really just sort of get the product on. And then now that there's less product on the wand, I like to already use the wand to really sort of smear it as much, like to already shear it out as much as I can. So that it just gets a little bit more of a seamless blend. Because I do feel that this concealer is a little on the thicker side. And if I don't do this, I feel it does have a tendency to pull into some lines at times. But if I do it like this, it just gets a much more seamless blend, and I feel it wears a lot better. So let me blend this in. For powder, I'm still using the Hourglass translucent setting powder, the Veil powder. This is just a mini size that I have, and I'm going to show you this. But you can see that I'm roughly halfway through with this. So I think again that if I keep using this, I may be able to use it up before the end of the year, which would be nice. But what I have found is that now that there's less product in this container, it becomes a bit harder to get it to come through the sifter and just get enough to apply it, I find. Plus I have found this product to be like, do you see that it sort of gloops together? It's a really strange texture for a loose powder, because usually it just kind of like flies all over the place. But this is almost like waxy, you could say. So I'm not sure what's going on with this, but it's a nice enough powder. I like the pressed powder that I've tried from Hourglass before a lot better though. So with the base done, let's move on to brows. And for brows, I'm still using the same combo, Etude House Drawing Eyebrow Pencil in the shade, I believe it's called Gray Brown 04, and the Blondy Brows Essence Make Me Brow. This has been my combo for the past 2 months. I don't think I will be using this up anytime soon. I still have quite a lot of product left. Let me twist it all the way up so you can see. Like, I think it's going to be a bit too much, but this is quite a tough pencil to work with, I find. So I also feel that a little goes a long way with this. It's not like other brow products where, you know, you use them up within like 2 weeks because they're so soft. So every pro has its con, you could say. And with this, I find it a little too hard, but it does mean that it does last a little longer. And I mean, the shade of the pencil and the way it works, it's nice enough. Nothing offensive where I'm like, oh, I can't use this anymore. So I do want to keep using this. For face, I had a couple of things in my Shop My Stash, and not a lot of it was very new. So these are the things I've reached for the most. I was trying out the Essence bronzer, which I already reviewed over on my blog. And then for the second half of the month, I was going to go in with the Nabla Skin Bronzing Powder, Skin Glazing, Skin Bronzing. This is in the shade Ambra. This has been lovely. I really, really like this bronzer. It's very natural on the on the skin, and it works also really well if you need to like use it for like a bit of like a contour or like as a crease shade. This has been working lovely. For highlight, I've been using this one the most this month, and that was a bit surprising to me because I had selected a few, but I ended up going for my Fenty Beauty Killawat highlighter in especially the shade Fire Crystal. Can you see that dent? I'm trying to hit pan. I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I could hit pan on another highlighter this month or like this year? Because I first hit pan on the Balm's Mary Luminizer, like finally after all these years. And this doesn't have a whole lot of products, and I really, because I never want to mess up like an embossing like this. So what I tend to do is that I kind of put my brush in at the same spot all the time. So I was hoping that maybe if I use this on a daily basis for like a few weeks, I might actually be able to hit pan on this. So far it hasn't happened. But I do really like this highlight, like the softer one off to the left, which is I believe called Lightning Dust. Yeah, that's what that one is called. I don't like it as much because it's very subtle. And with this, I feel that because I never really go into hardcore with my highlighter, I just use quite a fluffy brush to apply it. I feel it never looks like too much. And this is a really nice icy toned one, so it works really well on my skin tone. So yeah, that would be Fire Crystal by Fenty. And then Hourglass's Mood Exposure. This is an OG favorite for a reason. I love this in fall time. It just adds just enough color. But when it comes to the blushes that were in my Shop My Stash this month, I really just sort of went back and forth. But today I was like, I don't know what that eyeshadow will do. So I was like, I want this to be quite natural and quite nice. So that's Mood Exposure. Still working on my MAC Paintpot and Painterly. This is so low down. Like when I put my finger in, like I've been saying this for months, but I can feel the glass through the product. So it's like a matter of time before I hit pan on it. Again, a goal for me for the rest of the year is to try and see if I can at least hit pan on this. Won't be able to use it up anymore, but that would be lovely if I could hit pan on my paint pot, because I think I've been using this consistently every single day for like a year and a half, maybe longer, and it's still not hit pan. Like paint pots by MAC are some very long lasting products. What is not very long lasting is my little The Body Shop eyeshadow. Can you just see how much pan I have in that now? Like last month, it was just like that little bit in the middle, and now that ring is completely exposed. And like one side of the pan is like completely gone up here. So this is one that I think I can use up before the end of the year. What I want to do is go in with this Dior. This is their newest limited edition for Christmas. And it's from their Golden Lights, is that's what it's called? Golden Nights limited edition, and this is in the shade 089 Black Night. And I just, you know, when I spotted the promo pictures for this, I was like, I have to try this. Now, I haven't tried Dior eyeshadow in a hot minute. I think the last time I bought a Dior eyeshadow palette was like 5 or 6 years ago. So it's been a hot minute, but Dior used to be my favorite sort of like luxury brand for eyeshadow. It has, let me just swatch it for you because the swatches had me worried. We get a like shimmering black, a silver, this reddish burgundy shade, like a midnight blue, like a black and blue, and then like a matte black, it seems. But when I swatch these, like they feel quite stiff, I have to say. Well, there's 5 shades, so I'll put this one on my thumb. That won't be ideal for swatching, but that's what the 5 shades look like. So this is that sparkling black. And then we have the silver, which is right there. And then we have that burgundy shade, but that looks very dark. Oh, in real life it looks a lot darker. In the viewfinder it shows up a lot lighter. And then we have the matte black, and we have the midnight blue. Now I don't know about you, but this does look quite promising, but these feel quite dry, and especially because everything is quite deep, I don't think we're gonna see a lot of difference between, for instance, the navy or the red and the blacks that are in here on my skin tone. This is probably just going to look like black on me, but we'll see. And as we're doing a look with this, I will tell you afterwards what I've done. I will address the lighting situation. So let me zoom you in. Is it just me, but when you have clean brushes that you can't find them because you're like, which one was it again? This is a MAC 217, by the way. I think for the crease, I just want to set it up quite basically, and I'm going to go in with my bronzer first and use that in the crease in case you're wondering where the brown comes from. So yeah, I wanted to also address the lighting of my videos because a lot of people, at least some people, have been leaving comments like, oh, I wish your lighting was better because then we would see the colors much better, and I get that. However, the reason why I don't do it is A, in order to be able to film like that, I would have to completely block all the light in at least one room in my house, and I only have a 2-bedroom apartment. So that means essentially that there will be one room in my house that would be in perpetual blackness in order to get all the settings right, or and to get like blackout curtains and things like that. And I'm just not about that life. I bought this place because it was light and bright, and then I would have to essentially do that. It's not gonna work. And I don't have like a room that I can designate to make it like a filming area, because I just need the rooms to have other purposes in my life too. So that's not gonna work. So for me, it's just not really practical to think like that. But I also wanted to point out something else that a lot of people who are complaining about that actually don't realize. And I actually realized it as I was leaving an answer to one of those comments saying, you need to improve your lighting, we can't see the colors, yada yada. Actually, you can. The reason why I don't like videos that are filmed in studio lighting is because how often do you go out in your daily life under studio lighting? So for instance, right now, this eyeshadow, I'm filming it at like noon on a very dreary, cloudy day. Then my makeup will look differently than when it's super bright and sunny, because then like anything that's sparkly will just show up a lot more sparkly too. You know what I mean? So lighting situations just differ throughout your life, throughout your day. And I don't know anyone with a regular job, unless you're a model, who has pictures taken or who goes out in their lifetime with full-on studio lighting. I know I don't. I understand why people want studio lighting, because then the lighting is more consistent, and I understand that from video to video there is more consistency in the lighting. However, if I put on a red lipstick in the morning, I have different lighting. I go to work, I have again different lighting. I'm on the train, I have different lighting. Then there will be daylight at some point throughout the late day, which is also changing all the time. So I don't know how realistic it is to want to see content that has been filmed under studio lighting, because in the end, all you're doing is fooling yourself. And that's another thing that I wanted to point out, because I watch a lot of YouTube videos from YouTubers who make great content, and then I have the same video, or I have the same product that they show in one of their videos, and I'm like, but that product looks nothing like it in real life. And that's because studio lighting, the main reason why I also, like, I have a ring light, I could do it if I'd want to, is that it becomes very difficult for colors to translate well on camera. So many times I've bought products off of the recommendations of beauty bloggers and YouTubers in the past, and then I got it home and I felt it looked nothing like it. And I try my hardest to at least make the product look the way it does when I have it in my hands. Like, that's what I check for when I take pictures, when I film videos. I want it to look the way it sort of looks like when I look at it in real life. That's my aim. I'm gonna go in with that shimmering black. So that's why, for me, I understand why people want it, but it's a fake reality. And then I'm not even addressing the fact that, for instance, the camera I film on, cameras in general, have a very hard time picking up on reds usually. At least that's been my experience with the cameras I've had. Like red, they just don't like. They just don't like reds. So sometimes either products can look very red simply because you're transferring it through a medium. And then of course there's the issue of you watching this on your phone or on your smart TV or your laptop, whatever it is you're using. That's going to alter it too, because every screen from every brand has a different like saturation point and like color saturation settings to begin with. And then of course you can up the brightness of your screen. Like there's so many things that just play a role in how what I do on this side of the camera enters your living room, your device that you're watching this on, that are completely out of my control. It's just not helpful to only see makeup done in studio lighting, which is of course under the influence of Instagram and YouTube. That's what we see the most. But I don't think that that's something you should be fooled by, because ultimately, like that's also been like one of my major gripes with like buying products in stores, is that they have these like lights that make everything look extra sparkly. Have you noticed? Like if you go into a Sephora, like they have lighting that will make the product look extra interesting to you. Did you know that? And that's just a trick, a marketing ploy, something to get us to spend more money. And that is something that I don't subscribe to, because I want this to be as real as I can. And sometimes keeping it real, it has nothing to do with the quality of my videos or anything like that. If you want oversaturated content, then there are many YouTube channels that will give you that. And I think that that's another reason why people ask me to do the same thing, because so many channels, and I think that if you're not on this, like if you're not using cameras, and you may not be aware of this, but a lot of the things you watch have set the brightness to the max, the colors are overly saturated, and yes, the product looks really good, but is that then actually the product? I was like sitting here talking to my camera and I didn't realize that it had switched off. So I just applied a little bit of the navy blue on the lower lash line. Yeah, I was saying that if you think that anyone on YouTube or Instagram is giving you true to color representation of product, think again, because there's no such thing. So very often that's the struggle. Like, how do I make sure that you guys can see the products, but that, it's also as true to what I feel the product actually looks like when I look at it in a mirror. And I can already tell that in the viewfinder, this doesn't look as blended as it looks like in real life. And I'm gonna do something very daring because I wanna bring up the depth of the color a little bit higher into the crease. So I'm gonna use a little bit of that shimmering black shade, which actually, it kind of shears out to a charcoal gray for me, probably because I'm so fair, just to get it to blend a little bit better. And then of course we're going to use that vibrant silver in the inner corner, because what else are you gonna do with that? Okay, so I like how that silver isn't too stark. It's not like, boom, super bright. It's actually a little bit more toned down almost. It definitely goes very well with these colors. Let me zoom you out. So to finish off the look, I'm going to go in with the Catrice Sungasm setting spray. As you can see, I only have a little bit left. I think by the time I do my Shop My Stash, this will be gone. And then it's time to also apply mascara. I'm still using the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, or Paradise Aesthetic as it's called here in Europe, and the Glam and Dole by Catrice to layer over it to make it A, waterproof, and 2, to separate the lashes a little bit better. So that's what I'm going to do now. And last but not least, my Too Faced Sex on the Peach. That's all I have left. Again, by the time I do my Shop My Stash next week, I'm pretty sure this is gone. So there you have it. That would be the finished look. In the eyeshadow, what I ended up doing was I put the shimmering black in the crease and in the outer V. I used my bronzer to make a transition because I do feel I need that. And then I used the burgundy all over the lid. I was like, putting that on the lower lash line might be a bit much. And it actually does show up as a different shade from the black, which I'm happy with. The silver is really nice because it doesn't have, it's bright, but it's not like boom in your face bright. To me, this feels a bit like Cyborg from Anastasia and the Sultry palette, where it is a little bit of a grungy silver, that it's not too stark against these really dark colors. I used the matte black as liner along the lash line, but that you can't really see, I feel. And then I put the navy on the lower lash line, and that I feel also just looks like it's black. So yeah, I hope you don't mind my little rant about like lighting in videos, because I understand why people want that, but it's just not something that I can deliver, I'm afraid, for several reasons. I don't want to. And yeah, I've got a new job, and I'm really sort of still exploring everything and figuring out how everything works. So that would be it for me for today. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please give a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more by me. I make 3 new videos a week on this channel, so I hope you would like to stay tuned for more. In December, I definitely have a bit of extra content coming for you. I'm going to be doing some extra videos over the holiday period for sure. So I hope you'd like to stay tuned for that. See you in my next one. Bye-bye.